Are we live? What's up, y'all? Couple technical difficulties here. And that's what we get for recording on a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday. What's up, y'all? This is Ace the Outsider here with the Galactic podcast. Got my fantastic co-host who's doing everything on the back end to keep this thing together. Appreciate you, fam.
Yo, I'm glad to be here, Brody. We here for another episode of the G-Tribe podcast. I'm excited for it, man.
Yeah, we're gonna keep this one relatively short, because LeLouche got some traveling to do, man. You going out to Cali?
Yes, sir. Making a trip to Cali Thursday for the first time. I've never been to LA. I've been to Oakland, but I've never been to LA. So I'm excited to see it, man.
So you are going back to Cali. You just first time in LA. Word.
Yeah, I even got my hair braided up just to get some of that Cali feel too.
Oh yeah.
So we have a good time out there. I'm looking forward to seeing my brothers Charlie and Ethan for the first time in person. Known them for years now, and done so much work with them. So getting to actually see them in person is gonna be pretty dope.
Yeah, it's great that you're able to foster relationships without being in person with other people. I think that's just the magnificent leaps in technology that we've made, especially within the last just few years. But going from the telephone to everything that came after the telephone, which is texting, video messaging, messenger, social media, things like Discord, and all different types of online forums, and even video games. People meeting in video games than meeting up in real life. People who have gotten married just because they played the Sims game together. You know what I mean? So it's cool that certain advancements in technology have led to just different types of personal relationships.
I mean, fun fact, I'm only out here because of that. I met Felicia in a Facebook group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Slid in her DM. I'm kidding. Let me stop.
No, she slid in mine. Supposedly on accident.
Yeah. Oh, Felicia. Oh, man. Shout out to Ink Queen.
But yeah, so the connection that you can build virtually are powerful. That's one thing that's the good side of social media. There's a bad side of it too, unfortunately. But that's everything.
Yeah, which brings us to our topic of the day, which is something we're going to revisit in the future as well. But because we're just kind of doing a quick episode to get out the way and have something for the week, I wanted to talk about AI art, right? So artificially intelligent generated art. And when I'm saying art, I'm talking music too. So if you were into the common news, there was a report, not even a report, a company created an AI rapper that put a song out, and that pissed the entire hip hop community off. It was not even close to the people who liked it and who didn't like it. A lot of people did not like it for a number of reasons, myself included, just because of the amount of emotion and just the life experience it takes to make a song, and then for somebody to like it. And I just don't think that a robot, something that somebody generates, something that somebody who wasn't a person of color created, for them to take samples of people with emotion to create something and then put it out as an independent thing for another company to make money, that's something I didn't agree with.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Yes, there are some artificially intelligent, AI music and AI art. There again, it's another thing that has pros and cons to it too, right? So the pro is it's giving people that don't necessarily have the ability to make that type of content a window to try to do it. But when you're taking the creative integrity out of it completely and just typing two keys and say like, hey, do this, and it's a disrespect to the art form. Now, if you are incorporating like actual artists into the program, like help, like getting input and help making, I don't know, making these artists that may not have had as much relevance, more relevant with that, I can respect it more. I mean, it's all about the approach and how you do it. But bottom line, like as it is now, it's borderline disrespectful to the people that do take the time to do this all their lives.
Yeah, and we can move on to the topic of what happens when we get androids and robots. Oh, no, sorry, androids part human, right? Yeah. So if we just come on, if we just have a straight robot, and now we're in like what's the movie Will Smith called iRobot, and now we got like we got the Sonnies making music now, and then we start saying you're not allowed to make music, you don't have emotions, you're not human, so. I think this is the precursor conversation to that whenever we get there.
So I mean, at this point, I'm almost certain that we are either going to create Terminator, like that universe, or iRobot or something like that, just because like we are already not in control of some of the AIs that we have running the internet now. Like Google AIs and Facebook AIs are almost completely out of control. They don't actually fully know how they work anymore. Like they input information to influence it and adjust the code, but still, like the actual process of running everything on Facebook is still by an AI. They don't have control of. So it's coming. It's for sure coming. It's just how we prepare for it is the real question.
Yeah, how do we prepare for it, and how do we fix it before? Not even fix it, but just what are the things we need to do in order to respect the technology itself?
Your mic just started clipping a little bit.
Oh, sorry, that's my thing. Better now?
Test.
Okay. 1 2 1 2. Check.
It's still clipping. I don't know if it's clip. It's like it sounds like a short somewhere.
Oh, it might be this. I think I was touching my cord too much. This is the headphone cord. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a different cord for this because this keeps on happening. What about now? Still clipping?
Yeah, still.
All right.
It sounds like refresh your
browser.
Yeah, browser. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. We just having a bunch of technical difficulties this episode, and of course, it's the episode we're talking about artificial intelligence. So it's just pure karma.
How about now?
Oh, you sound good.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna get that new cord. Dang, I forgot where I left off at.
So you said we're transitioning to the main topic.
Oh no, okay. We were talking about the robots.
Oh yeah, I said that either Terminator or iRobot is for sure coming.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a segue
How we
to that.
For it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, preparing for it. Yeah, so I think there's just a way that we need to find out how to respect the technology and also listen to people when it comes to their opinions on technology. Because if we just started just flying cars around here, but not paying attention to how ridiculous people already drive on the ground, but we went ahead and made flying cars anyway, that'd be a problem.
Cars would be in the sides of buildings.
Yo, in the sides and the tops and you know what I mean? Someone crashes into a preschool like that, that'd be bad. That'd be really, really bad.
Drunk driving would be.
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah.
If you live near an airport, oh my good, like it's just so many different ways it can go horrible.
Yeah, just different politics on these, especially like with the drones, right? Because when the drones started coming out, we had to come up with a new set of policies for that, and that was after the drones had already started violating space. So then, when you got this self-learning technology, or at least this technology that can pretty much operate on its own, or how do you regulate that? Because a drone can't fly itself. A person has to be able to control it. But what happens when you have a thing controlling itself? But this is all the scary side of AI technology. The main topic of today is not as terrifying. And that is in the form of AI art. So visual art. There's an app out there called Midjourney. Or sorry, it's not just an app. It's a tool, a program in which that it can source art from across the internet using a set of keywords. So if you type in fish hanging from a tree in an open field while it's snowing. It's going to source images from the internet and create that image for you. And it might end up looking like LeLouche's background, which looks like an African-inspired background, or it could look like total crap. And it's like, okay, well, you have to sharpen up the keywords that you use and whatnot. So at first, when I first heard about this, I'm like, I immediately thought of the negative. Like, oh, people are just taking shortcuts and it's taking the attention from the real artists, because some of the works that I saw were like, yo, it looked like somebody spent hours on this. But in reality, it took them maybe 15, 20 minutes just because they were entering keywords. They weren't like building a frame they weren't doing a figure drawing and then it was painting it all there. No, you just enter it in like it's Google and then it creates this image for you. So, at first glance, I'm like, this is the same thing with the music. It takes emotion to create art and everything like that. But the same way LeLouche was saying before, it's like, well, it depends on what you use it for. So, I went ahead and I tried out Midjourney, and I'm like, okay, now it's cool. At the very least, it's cool to do, and perhaps it sparks.
Do you have the images that you made with it?
Yeah. How do I put that in the?
Yeah.
The way to put that in the chat.
Send them to me on Facebook. I'll put them up on the screen.
Okay, cool. I had to send it from my tablet, but yeah, I went ahead. It was very easy to sign up. They give you a Discord server and everything like that. But yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. And there's a Black Panther thing I'll bring up later on. But yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting to utilize.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to explore it myself. I mean, the concept of being able to just type in a few words and have image automatically made. I mean, that can take content creation to a completely different level.
Sure can.
That don't have access to do that. And then, I mean, of course, it's going to be faster than what a person can literally draw. So, I mean, that's going to make some. That's going to affect the art market quite heavily. I'm just curious to see exactly how it will. It's either going to increase the value of people who actually can draw, so that can get a specific image the way they want to specifically, or it's going to lower them and may be able to say like, oh, I mean, I got this real quick, so maybe this is what I should do. Yeah, and so we'll see what comes of it. I mean, I'm curious to see like how detailed it can get, because I mean, if you can essentially make enough images to make a comic using something like that, I mean, again, that could be like a whole new wave of content creation. People who make a story, people who write stories can just type in, what they need in that image to be there, and legit make a visual book right on the spot for it. So there's a lot of possibilities there. Yeah, and then it's like, well, the car put the horse and buggy out of business. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, the horse and buggy can still, it has this niche. You know what I'm saying, in the park or whatnot. But ultimately, you didn't need a cab driver, or I don't know what the person driving a horse and buggy is called. But yeah, so it's like, is this technology actually making something obsolete, or making someone obsolete, someone's career obsolete, or is it just another tool that's going to lead to something? Or is it harmless right now, but then in the future there could be complications the more advanced it gets? Because we're still in the beta. This is all relatively new. Like throughout the last just this year alone, there seems to be a lot more Midjourney, users, people who are using it, and the tool is growing. So, I think it is interesting. I think there are ways you can use it creatively that don't necessarily push anybody out. So say, for example, if I have stories, right? I have my own Black Panther stories, or, things I want to push, but I don't have the artistic know-how, or I can't afford to pay somebody for their art consistently to put something out. But I want to have an Instagram highlighting my stories. So instead of just screenshotting my words and putting them up, or taking a Black Panther panel that already exists, I can type in a number of keywords. It will create something, and then, I have something to go along with it now. So I'm not necessarily taking work away from anybody. I'm just using this art medium on top of my what I can do creatively myself.
and putting those things together to get the message across.
Yeah, I'm curious to see exactly where it goes. I mean, I got the 2 characters that you said. I'm getting ready to add those to the screen.
So,
where are they? Where are they?
Yeah, and it's relatively easy to sign up. Like while we're talking, if you wanted to, you could probably sign up. You just gotta, you already have a Discord. I know that.
Yeah, I joined their Discord while we were talking about it.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look through in there to see exactly how you make something. But
yeah, so what you do is you go to the freebies chat, or sorry, not freebies, newbies. Go to the newbies chat room, and then
I will share my screen up here so you can walk me through it. So
all right, cool.
The audience can see it as well.
All right, bet.
So
yeah.
Where are we? Wait, no. It's showing the wrong tab. You think I would know how to use
It's all good. No judgment here. Afrofuturism is not without its problems. We will still be learning how to use technology. Even the technology we already use, it is quite all right. Don't ask me to use a rotary phone. I can't do that, but But I still have issues logging into my Facebook.
I just have to show my full screen. All right, let's get into Discord. And you said,
yep,
go to newbies.
Doesn't matter which one.
Okay.
All right, cool. So if you scroll through, so what it does is that it will generate a number of images based on what you've provided. And I'm not sure how images get better. I'm still working with it because I just started playing with this thing today. But you see, so go up a little bit. Just go up to that one you just passed. No, the one with the space people or whatnot. Yeah, I said the warrior one, right? Oh, that one has a lot of different. Yeah, so it looks like there's like medium also involved in there. So you might say warrior, this, that. But if you add in, say, photorealistic or brushstroke, or some people are adding in like apertures and camera settings in there, and it seems like that's having an effect on it as well. So it's really just like, you can tailor this image to look however you want to. And so if you scroll back up to any of them that have like the 4 photos in it, like that one right there, the one you just passed. So you see it says U1, U2, U3, U4, V1, V2, V3, V4. So the U is for I think it means like upscale. So it's like, hey, select that one and then make that one different. I'm not saying you selected, I was just saying that. So what the program's telling you is allowing you to do is pick one of them from the boxes and like add more detail to it. Or if you just want to have a variation of it, you kind of want to see more what it can do before you actually choose one to be more detailed, then that's what the variable row is for. Right. So once it's going to ask you to accept the terms. You've already joined it. And then once are you still in the newbies room? So we created. Okay. So in the space where you type your message in, if you do a backspace, imagine. Backslash, imagine. Yep. And then select that one. Yep. And then from there, just type in, 5 to 7 words of the thing you want to see.
Electric Wolf.
All right, so you typed in electric. Whoop. Did it disappear on you? All right, so it says 0%, so it's gonna start generating the image. So LeLouche just typed in electric wolf mountain night moon. So it's giving you 4 different images, and you see right there in front of you, it's happening. That's the one thing I meant to say, that this thing operates quickly.
Really quickly.
It's not like it's not like 3D printing where it takes like hours for it to be, a thing. No, this thing will work within a minute to generate the thing that you just asked it to do.
Wow, just seeing this on the spotlight, that's pretty dope.
Right? Yep. Yep.
The the electric part and there's this phone pole there. Where's the wolf?
Yeah. So it's like, okay. So when it jumps down, that means it's completed. So you might have to scroll down to find it again. There it is. All right. Boom. All right. So,
that's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. So like you typed in wolf. So even though you don't see the figure of a wolf, you can kind of see the mountain peaks are like kind of resembling like a wolf.
Yeah,
and it's and there's probably a lot of silhouette photos of wolves out there on the internet where the actual wolf might not be in picture. So then you got to figure out, well, how do I make the wolf more detailed? Should I say wolf face? Should I say wolf fur? Should I say wolf howling at the moon? Should I say wolf looking into camera? Should I say watercolor? Should I say photorealistic? Should I say photography? So just those different types of variations. So if you hit okay, which one is your favorite out of those four?
Of the four, I gotta say this one with the wolf, like this actually like the mountain.
That's okay, so that would be number 3. So you hit U3. It's going to start to work on that image specifically and make that image sharper so you can download and have a high quality version of it. All right. So it's hard with this server because there's just so much going on in the server. 4.2 million. There it is. And now you have more detail. It's still working. It's at 22%, but yeah, in just a few seconds now this image will have a lot more detail, and you see that it's working, like it's adding stars and it takes them away, then it makes more detail in the mountain itself, or adds more fog, takes away fog, adds in trees, takes away trees. So
like I'm just just watching this happen so quickly. That's impressive, man.
Yeah. If I tell DQ about this, he's gonna lose his mind. So I'm gonna just wait until I understand it a bit more, because he's gonna be asking me every day, yo, how do you you know what I mean? Oh man. All right, so it's
I'm gonna have to talk to the bros about this too. I mean, this is pretty dope.
Yeah. So you see there's pretty much done. It might alter a little bit more. Oh man, those joints look fire, fam.
Yeah, like some of these are crazy. Like,
yeah. And it's like
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So from there you can do a light upscale redo, you can do a beta, you know what I'm saying? So there's ways that people get here. Sometimes it's like you keep doing the same process over and over and over again.
Spider-Man, like you can actually say that.
Yeah. I think if you hit one of their YouTube or something like that, you might be able to redo theirs or whatnot as well.
That's crazy.
So if you go back up to the ones that you first created.
Okay.
And then either find that same one you did or do a different one and then hit the V instead of the U. So you can do V3 or you can do it. Yeah.
So let's do V1.
All right. So it's going to give you more closely variables of that number 1. So it doesn't look like the other 4. It just looks more like the number 1, but it's just gonna. So, and again, people do this over and over and over again until the AI gets better, telling it what to do and just kind of sharpening up. So, yeah, man, this thing is beastly.
That was So,
and we've been on
for creatives. This is probably going to be a new addiction. Like, I mean, for me right now, I'm saying like, yo, this is crazy. Like, so I'm thinking about this for because like right now I'm doing a D&D campaign with some of my friends from around Facebook.
Yeah, and
we can literally like make image backdrops of our D&D stuff just by typing in what's happening in the area and seeing what that's on another level. If they figure out how to really streamline this and make it easy for I mean it is already easy.
It's already there.
It's already can make it more personal. I think people can get really into this. I mean, hey, artists beware.
Yeah, and you can. I mean, if you sign up and subscribe to them, I think the lowest rate is like $10 a month. Then you can have like your own like web page. You can just go to that and play around with it at your own leisure without doing a whole Discord thing. So, and then they have like corporate packages too. So I don't know what type of corporation would use this. Probably schools and whatnot. But so it's all very new and interesting and fun. It's definitely cool. And again, the applications. We're not saying, oh, I'm about to take this and go to a Comic-Con and clean up, right? We're just saying, oh, hey, for this D&D campaign, I can have some accompanying pictures and photos to go along with this other creative thing I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, the possibilities, just seeing it in motion. I mean, they're endless. The more detail that you put into that, because I mean, I've seen some people have like whole paragraphs of detail that they put into there. So I mean, you can do a lot with it. You can get pretty specific. So I mean, it's just all about knowing you have to have a basic knowledge of art. To know what keywords to put in to make it look what you want it to look like.
Yeah. And
then I mean, also just having an eye for what you like to really truly make what you want to do. Yeah, I'm curious to see what else they incorporate into it, man. But it looks pretty dope.
Yeah. So I just saw somebody did some. They did like 16 to 30 images of a Black Panther series that they put out there. Oh, coming soon to Disney Plus. Bashanga, yada yada yada. Just doing this whole thing, and there's all these images. And at the end of this person's caption, they say, "I was just kind of kidding. I'm just kind of throwing it out there." But what if, And this post blew up. Like, it was over Instagram, it was in multiple different Facebook groups. It's probably now on articles and everything. But this person made these images that look like photos, fam. They look like somebody took a photo and then did all the rendering and 3D stuff to add the armor, add the backgrounds and whatnot. But it's just like, yo, hold up. You did this using a program like Midjourney. It didn't take as long as it would if these things were all hand-drawn or computer generated, or, well, not computer generated, digitally drawn, So it's just like, this thing's dangerous in a good way.
Right. So I got a question for you, and I finally got your images of what you made. So what did you put in for your images to get the ones that you got?
Yeah, I probably still got it on my clipboard. It was chat. Let me see if I can paste it. Just because I forgot. Screw it, it's gonna take too long. I put in Afrofuturist. Oh, hang on, sorry. I can't get out the chat. Technical difficulties all over the place, y'all. It's just all over the place. There we go. Now I'm zoomed in on the chat. Now I'm zoomed in on the chat. Now I'm zoomed in on Streamlabs. Now I'm in LeLouche's nose. Okay, cool. I put in Afrofuturist, Panther, astronaut, I think in space with a ninja sword. And I think that's what popped up. Yeah, sounds about right. Actually, let me look in the Discord because I typed it in the Discord. But yeah, and then I found out, okay, well, this if I keep the word Panther in there, it keeps on adding in a Panther aspect, but it's not like a specific Panther aspect, because one of the other ones had a Panther neck in the armor, like just a Panther's neck, just strangely enough, like in the armor. I'm like, okay, I don't want that. I don't want the Panther's like nose in the armor. So maybe I have to type in Panther armor. Maybe I have to type in Panther face. So it's just like different things you have to type in. Like, again, you saw when you were scrolling through the Discord that some people had like 30 different tags and or commands, and that's what determined the image. But yeah, like I just typed in those 5 words and it pretty much made like a Childish Gambino looking figure as a.
I mean,
yeah, I mean,
it's way more specific than mine. Mine was electric wolf.
Yeah. Night, moon. Yeah, just these 2-syllable words. But yeah, I mean, even though as simple as that was, you still got a decent image. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
So I mean, yeah, knowing this tool exists is pretty wild. So I'm gonna play around with it myself, see what I can make. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, just seeing what type of content I can make around some of the images I do. Because that's one thing that's been. Well, okay.
Yeah, here's something else. But the hairline is crazy. The hairline is insane, fam. Like,
yo, you put my man's Zach from Power Rangers to shame. With that.
No! Oh man, yeah. So yeah, there's ways to tweak it and everything. I'm sorry I cut you off. You were saying something else.
I don't even remember.
Okay.
Okay. I was going to say one thing that's been missing from some of the content that I want to make in my spare time is the ability to have art like that on the fly. So if I can just kind of tweak that together and start making some little short snippet things, you know, just that's huge. That is huge. Again, it's honestly gonna make artists have to work harder because you can randomly make 4 images in 20 minutes, like as opposed to like the hours it takes to make that type of detail by hand.
Yeah, I think that artists don't necessarily have to work harder. They just have to move differently, that's what artists do. That's what anybody in a business has to do. Something is gonna come and try to put you out of business, and like nobody is safe. Even the McDonald's workers flipping patties. Like once a robot starts flipping patties, it's a wrap. So, but it's like, what can you do on that? I can learn how to program the patty flipping robot, or no, you need a human person to be able to tell, there's a piece of rat fecal matter on this patty that the robot didn't scan for. The robot can only flip the patties. You don't know how to tell that. You know what I mean? So. The one thing I do want to talk about before we leave, and I'm just going to put this out there and we can talk about it more because it is a lengthier subject, is that when it comes to technology, obviously, but not even obviously, the type of technology is determined by the person who makes it or the people who make it. And sometimes if those people...
I feel like it's... No, sorry, don't mean to cut you up. I feel like it's more determined by the people who use it than who make it.
You would think that. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, I mean, they didn't split atoms to make a bomb. You know what I'm saying? They didn't. Gunpowder was initially made to, kill people. It was a tool for building. Like everything starts off as one thing. It just depends on how it's used. The intention of the thing can be one thing. I mean, because there's some things that started off with horrible intentions that are now, good for us. So, yeah, it's all in the use, in my opinion.
I got you. So the point that I was getting at was, when was the first time you saw a black character in the video game?
First black character I saw in a video game was... Probably is it Cole in Gears of War? That's the first one that comes to mind.
Okay. All right. Wow. Damn. That's so Gears of War is like maybe early 2000s or whatnot.
Right.
So
I mean, there's some ones that predate that, but that's the first one that actually like had a personality that really stands out in my opinion.
Can you think of like an 8-bit character, like from like the early Super Mario days or something like that was a black character? Right. So what I'm talking about technology is that it kind of reflects the people who are making it. So for example, if people understood, like if people were as diverse as they could be the same way they are now, back then we would have more like 8-bit 32-bit characters. Mario Brothers, there could be a black Mario Brothers and whatnot. But A, because a lot of people of color were kept out of those industries, and B, the people who were in charge weren't creating those characters just from their imaginations. Because you have those two things working, you have a technology that reflects a race's persona because the people who made it or the people who were in charge of its functionality and development were also white or, just anti-black. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about technology. Like there's some just regular everyday things that we use that, for another example, hair grease. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, or finding a do-rag, bro. Like, you can't just go to any store. You couldn't just go to any store and find a do-rag. Now they're a little more, everywhere, but
yeah.
like, but if you go to like a Walgreens and whatnot, you might find one or two do-rags. But if you go to the hood, you know what I'm saying, you go to this corner store, they're gonna have 17 different types of do-rags, right? And it's like, and does that come down to a population thing, or is that just like, to kind of see where I'm getting at with this? So when it comes to this the AI music, being able for it to not have an identity, but still pull so much source content from people of color to create what it's designed to do. And then in the case of Midjourney, when I was scrolling through the Discord, I would see the word beautiful, right? And just off rip, without there being a command to say this person's ethnicity, I want this artwork to reflect this ethnicity. It was just a white person. You know what I mean? Like, they was typing beautiful, Victorian, whatever, and it was always a white person. So I'm not sure if that they had to go through a few steps in order to get there. But from what I saw initially, I'm like, huh. You know what I'm saying? So like, if a kid's looking at that, they're gonna think that the word beautiful.
And we lost ATO. But no, I get what he was saying. The power of imagery is pretty strong. So if you program people to think that beautiful is associated with whiteness, that can be so damaging to the psyche of those young children, because I mean, they just automatically disqualify themselves from being that, and living your whole life thinking that you are not beautiful, that you can't even be considered to be that. It can hurt. It can hurt pretty bad. And I'm trying to continue this ramble until ATO gets back. We're gonna have to really edit this episode up.
See, you get to talk about robots, and they all of a sudden like, oh, word? Oh, that's how you feel it? Okay. All right, Negro, we got you. You see what I'm saying? So I need more black people at Google, fam, or Apple in this case, because it's Safari.
Or we could make something that can compete with it.
Something, right?
Competition breeds, the best product in any field, period. So that's never here. There, we'll go to that. Back to AIs. No, back to the not being to be able to be perceived as beautiful as a black person. Yeah.
It's the same with the toys, with the whole Barbie test, and how the girls thought that the white Barbie with the blonde hair was more beautiful than the one with the black hair, and that's more like because they never had seen one before. And when you see Barbie, she's on a plane, she's on a cruise, she's on this, she's on that. Those aren't things that people associate black people with success because of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you got to be blind, you got to be skinny, you got to be this, you got to be that in order to be successful. So those are the conversations we're going to have more in the future as we revisit these topics and more, talking about Afrofuturism, understanding that our place is in the future because we've always been around and will continue to be around. But we also still have to keep fighting for our place so that everybody else can realize, yo, we got a future here. We know we got a future here. We're gonna get there regardless. And if you ain't trying to help us do that, then you in the way. So, but yeah, y'all, this has been a Galactic Tribe. Wish LeLouche safe travels as he goes across the country to the Golden Street itself, California, LA, where the streets are paved with gold. Hollywood stars, man. And you're going to Comic-Con too, right?
Going to LA Comic-Con. So I'm excited for that. Excited to see what it looks like over there on that side of the country, because I've never been to a con that far east before. I mean, it's that far west before, actually. Yeah. So I mean, excited to see that. Excited to see the city because I've never seen LA, and again, excited to see my brothers because get to see them in person.
Yeah, man, give them my best, man, and y'all all enjoy yourselves. Take care.
All right, it's been another episode of the Galactic Tribe podcast. Tune in next week for another one.
Future forward. See y'all later.